live. Okay, they should be able to hear us.
Howdy! Oh, wait. Am I logged into the right thing?
Yeah, you are.
No.
Oh. Connect.
Nope. Damn it. Oops. Okay.
Connect.
Probably heard me say that.
Of course they did.
All right, there we are.
All right.
Howdy!
All right, you need to turn your volume off.
Oh, wait. Am I logged in? Right. There you are. No.
Oh. Right here. Connect.
Yep. Damn it. I got it. Okay.
You could have just X'd that right there.
Oh.
Not that.
Oh. That. I don't know what the heck's going on.
There you go. Now, that. No, that.
No. Wait.
You just went to the other one again. Back. Hit that.
Ah.
She's having problems, folks. She don't know where she's at.
I don't know where I'm at. Okay.
The volume, click it. The X right there.
Okay.
Now you're on the wrong stream again.
No, it says an evening in the paddy wagon.
Well, what's that? Oh, it's a commercial?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Finally. Finally. And to clarify, this is not made for children.
All right, here we go. So, alrighty, we'll wait for people to get in here. We've got
Craig and Marianne.
Okay.
Howdy, howdy.
So, it says it's running slow, but there's nothing we can do about that.
Well, I finally have a screen up here.
All right.
Should I be seeing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the lag from what we're doing now to what's coming up. All right, folks.
Hi, Pappy Two Bears.
Alrighty, this is our second live stream for us, and hopefully the video is a little bit better. It's not going to be so laggy, and the voice will be at the same time than we did last week.
At least that's the theory.
That's the theory, but if you look behind us, we're living in a camper, and we live in the middle of nowhere, and internet is an issue, so we are going to work harder or strive harder to get this feed a little bit better, but I think it's better than it was last time. I know the video quality is not going to be as good, but actually the sync with our voices should be fine, and the audio should be a little bit better this time.
That's the theory.
That's the theory.
So, on tonight's An Evening in the Paddy Wagon, what do you have for us?
What do I have for us? Okay, I have what the opening logo said. We're going to do comment reactions. And what we're going to do is we're going to be commenting on...
And reacting.
And to
I like to react. That's my specialty.
Yeah, to your comments out there and to some of the ones that we got on Facebook or on YouTube about our videos that we've uploaded so far. And we're going to go back in the archives because we've got some videos that we've uploaded 2-3 years ago, and I'm not going to go so far tonight, but when we do this in the future, we'll probably have to go back a little bit further. And so before we get started, I'd like to say, before we get started on the comment things, I would like to say that what you're going to hear is my educated
pontifications.
Yeah. my educated guesses.
Pontification, because cryptozoology is not a thing.
It is too a thing. Anyway.
Not if you talk to Dr. Jeff.
Yeah, true. But so, and when I say educated, I've studied anthropology. I've worked on scientific digs. I have a very scientific background, and I'm not quite a dullard, but don't look at me like that. Anyway, but I've been doing this for a long time.
I love to make fun of him. It's been over 2 decades of constant making fun of him.
But what I'm going to be doing is probably my best guess. And there's a lot of stuff out there that people call Bigfoot evidence that I don't. I think it's evidence of something, but I'm not sure if it's always evidence of Bigfoot. And I have a little saying that, yeah, it's very interesting, but not conclusive. So unless it's super conclusive, and to me, a lot of the footprint casts, the footprints, they're conclusive. Some of the photos, or even to me, are conclusive because I know the length of bones in human bodies and the ratios between the distance between your hip and your knees in most people. So if you're in a suit, you can't move your knees. You can't move the distance between your knees and your hips. So I can pretty
he's
much
got some smarts.
Yeah, so I can nail these things.
I'll watch the feed.
Good.
I'll watch the feed. You talk into the camera.
Okay.
I will watch the comments.
All right. There's one. Sorry, something. I don't know.
I already have it.
Okay.
You just watch
You got it.
Okay.
All right.
By the way, he has got raging ADD. So the whole comment feed on his screen is like the ultimate squirrel. Squirrel. It's like that dog from the movie Up. So let me watch the comments. You talk into the pretty camera.
Okay. I will. So anyway, so that's where we're at. So I don't know if I want to jump right into this or.
Well, why don't you break the ice? Why don't you jump right into some that you've got prepared, and then we can ask our adoring viewing audience if they have any comments that they would like to hear and see my reaction to.
Okay, there we go. All right, fine.
Ricky and Lucy.
No.
Ricky, this is Ricky, and I am Lucy. It's true.
Squatch Lucy. Okay. So, all right then. So let's, I'm going to hit my first comment. Here we go.
All right. So the comment says, and just in case you're wondering, I'm pretty blind. So that's why I'm going to read this. I've often wondered to the missing bark on all of the Bigfoot stick structures. Do they eat it? Are they bark eaters? The Mohawk used to call... Oh dear, it's a Native American word. Algonquin Indians, Adirondacks, which means bark eaters or really expensive rocking chairs. No, that was mine. I've read somewhere that some species who do eat bark take several times of eating it, i.e. their faces.
They eat their feces.
Their feces.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful. We've got a great video about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Before they are able to digest all of the minerals, fiber, etc. in this type of diet.
Okay.
Boy, that was such an intelligent question.
It was.
Wow.
So I think this was probably, this was on the feces eating video that we did, because I got a report of a guy who had an encounter with a Bigfoot, and then a couple weeks later they were loggers and he was still in the same area, and he went to go to the bathroom one day and something had picked out all the toilet paper out of the hole and then ate all the feces out of the the outhouse. Well, they didn't have an outhouse. It was more like a pit toilet they had. So I think
the
that
case Nancy Drew and the case of the missing poo.
Yeah. So where I'm at with this is, do they eat bark?
I think they probably would rather clean up the feces with the bark, like, trappers did.
No, I think there hasn't been a lot of evidence for me, anyway, about them eating bark. I have seen. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, wait a minute. I have. There was a report where a guy had seen one take a fir tree and just strip it in his teeth. Now I don't know if he was eating it
or flossing with it.
Flossing, yeah, I don't know, but
that would be a good video.
Yeah,
Bigfoot dental care.
Yeah, go to your room. Anyway, so
you started this.
I know. So what I'm thinking about? Do they eat bark? Do you know what? Something I had discussed with Dr. Jeff Meldrum with this one time we were together, and we were talking about how long the body is of a Bigfoot, compared to like the Patterson film or the Freeman film. If you were to measure the body length of it, that Bigfoot seems to have a lot longer body than humans do. And what that means is more guts. You have more intestines, so you can get more nutrients out of rougher foods, stuff that we could get no nutrients out of if we ate it, but we probably could if we ate it, pooped it out, ate it again.
Well, cows kind of do that, only they chuck it rather than poop it.
Yeah, they regurgitate it, chew it, and swallow it again, but
that would make it really easy to stick to our diet, let me tell you right there.
But like I said in that feces video we did, there are many animals, including gorillas, which are a primate like us, who eat feces. Dogs, rabbits especially, they eat feces because you just recycle it and you get more stuff out of it. So what's your comments on that one? So eating bark, I meant maybe. I was just thinking of all the tannic acids that's in bark, though. That's not good for you.
So anyway, well, there are some barks that are edible by humans. True. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Like fir trees are edible. You have to stew them into tea, though.
Right. Well, the needles are. I don't know about the bark.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some Googling on that. I'll get back to you on that one. Because
could be a whole new product line for us.
There you go. Bigfoot snacks made out of bark.
Oh, we got a better idea here, though, thanks to Pappy. Where is the poop emoji on here?
What?
Well, so Pappy said Bigfoot Nutella in response. And I'm thinking we could sell poop emoji stuffies and market it as Bigfoot butter.
Bigfoot butter. Yeah, that'll work. So,
more intestines equal. Yes, it's true. More intestines
equal. Yeah.
More potty breaks. Yes, and stinky. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. That's true.
So does Bigfoot eat the bark? What do you think? Final answer.
I don't have one. Final answer, maybe.
Possibly.
When
desperate enough.
It's a fantastic theory, and we're gonna have to chalk it up to, we're gonna have to find one and ask it. But I'll tell you what, when we do our future research trips, thanks to that question, that's something I'm going to look for. I am going to actually try to pay attention to that. I do have a stick that was stripped by a Bigfoot. So, no, there was a guy up in Detroit Lake, a hunter. In fact, it was my Hunter 911 call guy. He found a stick that he saw a Bigfoot holding, and it was stripped of bark, and he thinks the Bigfoot was using it as like a walking stick.
Yeah.
So
I think on the next video, if it's going to be like this, we need to have a disclaimer saying there could be topic matter that makes you want to barf in your mouth.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Nikki.
Yeah. Yeah. Bigfoot.
Do they look for bugs? Oh, so Marianne asked, are they looking for bugs under the bark?
That is probably more possible than pliable.
Yes,
more possible
you know,
than.
Yeah, we all learned from the Lion King that what is it?
Grubs under the bark.
Grubs under the bark. Satisfying, slimy, but satisfying.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's great. She needs a starve for that one.
Oh, how do I starve someone?
I don't know. I don't think you can starve.
Was that was Marianne?
We'll just.
What can I do? I'm not going to report or block you, but yay, Marianne! Yay, that was Marianne. A great thought.
Great thought. That's probably more plausible than them eating the bark, them peeling bark and eating underneath it. Maybe even the tree sap.
Well, probably maybe, but I'm thinking, because a lot of grubs are so high in protein.
True. Well,
yeah. I mean,
but up here we don't have that. We don't have a lot of grubs.
No,
but we have termites and ants and bugs.
Oh, gosh.
Bugs in general.
You just gave me a vision of the last time I encountered a wall full of termites. That made me throw up in my mouth just a little bit.
Okay.
Let's not talk about these anymore. Next question.
All right.
Next comment for my awesome reaction.
The next comment for your awesome reaction.
Toys or chews for the kids. That's right. Shut up, kid, and chew on. Yeah.
That was another one.
There you go. Because if a Bigfoot child is developing similarly to a human, they're going to be cutting teeth. And you give a dog a piece of wood. I mean, our Rottweiler, she's about 3 years old now. She's not ours anymore, but whatever. And she's still chewing on wood. So, and possibly for anxiety relief. I don't know if Bigfoots have anxiety, but if they are humanoid, you get that. I mean, when I was a kid, I chewed on pencils until they were dead out of anxiety. So, there's another. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was from who? Oh, again, Nikki. Awesome. Nikki, you get a star too. Woo. You get a star, and you get a star, and everybody gets a star. Okay.
All right. Yeah. And anxiety. Oh, speaking of anxiety, no.
Oh, and he says willow bark has that aspirin compound.
Yes, it does. Now, there's another good one.
And Pappy gets a star.
Yes, willow bark. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's where you get aspirin from. So if we're talking about Bigfoot anxiety, I'll have to turn it over to her because she has a background in psychology.
Yes, I do. I have so much background in psychology that I decided I hated humans, and now I'm studying Bigfoot. No, honestly, if we're talking about, human anxiety comes from, generally comes from our evolutionary history where we had everything to be anxious about. Saber-toothed tiger is hunting us. So I'm thinking, honestly, in a different stage of evolution that the Bigfoot species might be, they would have that anxiety on alert, and especially children, when they're trying to keep their tribe or their clan safe, they want to keep their children as relaxed as possible so that they're not drawing attention and increasing the risk factor out in the wild. Although I'm kind of wondering who predates on Bigfoot.
Probably not a lot.
Probably not nothing. A lot. Probably more us than anything.
Yeah.
So, like your encounter in the woods where you had the adult whistling at the juvenile.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, because I had eye-to-eye contact with the juvenile, and then we heard this whistle, and this juvenile turned and walked off into the woods away from me towards the whistle.
Yeah. So anyway, but you know, the young of any species naturally experience anxiety through separation and you know, just anything, because that's just normal part of mammalian development. And so I can see, you know, that's why we give babies binkies, you know, suck on this for a while until, you know, make you feel safe. So I think that's pretty plausible.
True, and all species have anxiety. I mean, today,
Oh
I
my
wish we had a
gosh.
binky for our cat. So, yeah, you want to...
Oh, hey, by the way, Edgar still needs a home, as if anyone knows. Hello, Bunkin. We had like this crazy windstorm today, shook our trailer, and normally Edgar is the chillest, most relaxed thing on the planet. I mean, just nothing phases him. And that wind started blowing. I think at the airport it topped out at what, 66 miles an hour?
56.
56?
56 miles an hour.
And here in our trailer, it was whipping at what, 27?
27, but we're under trees, and I've got a weather station on my truck that we use when we're out in the woods just to watch for weather coming, or if we find stuff, we document the weather. And
so anyway, you hardly ever hear this guy. I mean, what you hear from Edgar is mostly really loud, obnoxious purring, which means he wants attention. But that wind started whipping around today, and he was yowling and howling and spitting, and just, I mean, I have honestly never heard anything like that from him. It really had him riled up. So even my chill cat has anxiety. And so.
Okay.
Moving on. What's the next comment?
Moving on.
What's the next comment you have ready to go?
Okay.
Someone used the stump for leverage to push it into the ground. Close though. Good eye still.
Okay. So what this comment was on was I should have got a photo off the video, but I didn't for you. What this comment was on was the video that we did with the upside down tree, and this gentleman had found and videotaped this tree that had been broken off from a pile of trees that had fell out in this opening, and there was the top of the tree had been broken off one of those fallen trees, and it was probably roughly 8 to 9, 10 feet long, and it was the top of a fir tree, and then all the limbs were broken off, and it was turned upside down and jammed in the ground next to a stump. So let's see, what did that comment say again?
That someone had used the tree for leverage.
You used the stump for leverage to push it in, and it was probably human done. That's what I'm gathering from this. So I'm thinking that no. And there's a reason I say no, because I went back and looked at the video after seeing this comment, and I didn't comment back on this because I wanted to comment tonight, but the top of that stump was an old, rotten, dead, gray, rotten tree stump. And the top of it had no marks on it. It was pretty jagged, the top of it. And usually if you climb up on that and you twist it and step on it, you're going to break off the grayed outer portions, and
it kind of
crumble it a lot. But the top of that stump had nothing on top of it, so nobody had stood on top of that stump to cram that in there. So I'm pretty sure that it wasn't done that way if it was done by a human. Another thing is the claw marks that were on it. I'm not sure what those were. But the tree was broken off. The limbs are all broken off. There was no knife marks on it, because I interviewed the guy and I talked to him about it. After he sent me the video, he and I chatted for a long time. And I asked him all these questions, but it was about 2 feet in the ground, I'm pretty sure, from his estimations, that was stabbed in the ground. but it was up against the stump. I'll give them that. Here's the stump. The tree was shoved right up against it down on the ground, but like I said, the top was not damaged whatsoever. So nobody had stood on it to get up to the top of that 8 feet, to be able to reach higher to pull down on that log to shove it down in there. And I don't think a person could anyway. I mean, we had a case 2 summers ago where we found this 6-inch around fir tree that was pulled out of the ground directly, just pulled straight out of the ground. And I tried to pull one 3 inches around, and I couldn't do it. So to take a tree, turn it upside down, and stuff it in, that's kind of interesting.
So Pappy comments, Vancouver Island, which we want to get to someday. Yes. I have not been to Vancouver Island since I was 18 years old. It was one of the most awesome weekends of my life. And we got stuck there actually because it was so stormy. We couldn't take the ferry back to Port Angeles. So the Empress gave us a free tea, a free high tea, grand tea, whatever. It was awesome. But no, I love Vancouver Island. Anyway, he says Vancouver Island has trees, and there goes the thing. Has trees that were pulled up by the roots and jammed upside down in the ground with the root ball up. Now, what can do that without hands?
Nothing.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Well,
no, they have hands. Okay, yeah. So yeah. And then Craig says, I didn't see any marks where something was jammed into the stump or tree to pry down with either.
Yeah.
So, know.
Was that the guy?
Yeah, that's Craig.
That's Craig. That's the guy.
Is he the one that?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. So, anyway.
So
yeah. Hey, working on it. That's on the bucket list for this year. Honestly, I've never had a passport. I was doing any international traveling, which meant Mexico and Canada before you needed a passport. So this year we get our passports so we can cross the border, right?
Sure.
He has no idea what I just said.
Passports across the border. I was paying attention. Okay.
And just by the by, speaking of international travel, the Mexican El Squatchy liked me on Twitter today.
Oh yeah.
Says that he's the brown Mexican Sasquatch, not the white one. So we'll see.
El Squatchy.
El Squatchy.
So that's interesting.
No, it's not.
Oh, so we do it. Oh, so now what?
Now what? Does anyone out there have any particular comments that they would like to hear and see a reaction on?
I know. He's got a few more. I've got one more, but
anything from out there?
Yeah. Yeah, about the Vancouver upside down trees. I have seen photos of those.
Type away, Craig. Type away.
And I've heard.
I'm watching the feed.
And I've heard how. What am I talking about? Oh, I've heard how they've done that. There's also found them in Alaska. We've found them in Canada. So yeah, that's and that one here, but it wasn't pulled up by the roots and turned upside down. That's the only difference. But that is, in fact, to me, that's the only true Bigfoot tree structure that we can say, hey, that's got to be, because nature can't do that. Nature can't pull a tree up, turn it upside down, and jam it on the ground, especially gigantic ones. So to me, that's a true tree structure. The ones where the trees fall in different directions on top of each other, some of those, and in fact, I think most of those are windfalls, because, we had, 56 mile an hour winds today. Trust me, we heard the tree limbs hitting the top of our camper for an hour. Bang, bang, bang. So a lot of those are windfalls or snowfalls. But there are some. Now, don't start yelling at me, but because there are some that don't make sense. That this tree couldn't have fell, and then this one fell on it. It doesn't work that way.
So we have people frantically typing. And yes, obviously we don't want to travel with the coronavirus going all over the place, although both of us are pretty skeptical about this global terror, panic attack that we're all having. Seeing that there have been 80,000 deaths in the U.S. alone in the last 6 months from just the plain old flu.
The normal flu.
The normal flu.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's a lot more glamorous when it's happening somewhere like China. But I just wanted to point out to everyone that Corona is an anagram for raccoon.
Yes.
So go back and watch all the Resident Evil movies. You know, I swear science fiction writers are the prophets. Modern prophets. They know what's coming way before it happens.
Exactly. And in fact, if you see the Chinese company that's working on the coronavirus?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Their logo
is the same as the Raccoon Corporation.
No, not Raccoon. It's
yes, it is
the Umbrella Corporation.
That's what I meant.
From Raccoon City.
From Raccoon City. Yeah.
But it's exactly the same. It's the Umbrella Corporation symbol, except for it's like blue and gray instead of black and red. That's weird. So yeah, I just saw a thing. I wish you guys could have stayed up at Killimaque Lake longer. I think you would have heard screams and stuff. Tell them
about the Killimaque story. Hi, Justin.
Yeah,
better late than never.
We spent a weekend up there, and that was that wasn't my first trip to Killimaque, and it's not going to be my last. Trust me.
But you'll be in much better shape and can get up there faster next time.
Yeah, last year it was embarrassing. We were hiking up there. It's a 3-mile hike. Straight up. You go from 3,000 feet to about 9,000 feet in 3 miles. So it is rough. It's a rough hike. So me and my partner Pete were hiking up there, and Pete's a lot better shape than me. He's a contractor, so he's on his feet all day. And but he he would wait for me and stuff when I'd because we both had 50-pound packs on our backs, which is stupid. I had way more stuff than I needed. But
I didn't go on this hike because I wasn't stupid.
I know we always pack a lot more, but because we got camera equipment, we've got night vision, we've got audio equipment, we got battery chargers, we've got for all the equipment that we take with us up in the woods. And trail cameras, like 5 or 6 a piece, And
then came the sexy 23-year-old broad. Yeah,
this 23-year-old girl who works for the Forest Service. We're hiking up the hill. We're breathing hard. We're stopping every 5 or 6 steps, and then she just blew by us. Oh, hi guys.
Bye guys.
Bye guys. And she got up to the lake where we were camping. By the time we got there. And we were only probably a mile away from the lake. By the time we got there, she had her tent set up.
Was cooking dinner.
Was cooking her dinner. And I'm like, oh. So
hard to be an old fat guy.
I know. So we said hi to her. She booked out the next morning, and we spent 3 or 4 days up there alone after that. But she was the only one that went up there. But a little secret that only you guys know now. There's some stuff that I don't put in those videos that we kind of hold back for our own evidentiary stuff. So
and for our very special friends that follow us.
Yeah, for you guys who are hanging out. We did find that tree that was pulled up. If you watch the Killimaque video, I kind of hit on that a little bit. We didn't get any whoops. We have heard a lot of reports of people getting whoops and tree knocks and stuff up there. Didn't happen to us. But we found a trackway of old tracks. I mean, they weren't very distinct, but we found about 7 tracks in a dried up trail that had been muddy at one time, and they were 15-inch tracks. We found several of those, but they, like I said, they was pretty dried up. They were pretty, they'd been there a while. Like it had dried up, rained, dried up, and they kind of faded out. But we found those, and we did find, and I think I did put a shot of it in the video, but I didn't explain it. But we found 2 15-inch footprints in a little swampy puddle. And we check out, when we go up these higher lakes and stuff, there's these marshes up there. And we check out the marsh waters because it's a good place for Bigfoot to get food, and plus it's wet ground and we can find footprints. But we found two 15-inch footprints next to each other in the water. You could definitely see it because there was like a moss or what, algae. That's what I was trying to think. What's the words? There's algae floated on the pond, but you could see where the footprints were. So the algae hadn't came back into it, and then where we were standing, these two prints, and I bent over and looked down in the water. It was just full of tadpoles that were pretty much almost frogs now. So it would have been a great place for a Bigfoot just to stand there and bend over and pick up these frogs and eat them all day long.
Okay, now I'm grossed out again. Okay, anyway, so you were up at Killamacue, and you actually you didn't hear one there, but you had an encounter with something who didn't want you there.
What, with the tree thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, because that tree was pulled out of the ground and laid between our tents.
Yeah. So, Nikki says, asks, have you heard Bigfoot talking?
I have not, personally. I have not.
Have you gotten recordings from other people?
I've got recordings from other people.
Didn't that Bigfoot 911?
Yeah.
That Bigfoot 911 call had chatter and whooping and hollering and the whole
had the chatter, which I'm really big on them having languages, not just because of the stuff that Ron Moorhead has recorded years and years ago, but the fact that he recorded something, and then 20 years later, there's a guy in Georgia recorded, and it was
identical.
Not perfectly identical,
but like a different dialect of the same thing.
Yeah, it was so close. It was
like
amazing.
The difference between the Queen's English and whatever it is we speak over here.
Exactly. So, yeah, I haven't heard it myself. I'd love to, but the only thing that's happened to me with a Bigfoot was I've been growled at.
It probably just popped right up on your screen that you want to check out the video, the Bigfoot 911 call at Detroit Lake. Just popped up there. So when you get a chance, make sure you check out that video.
What?
It didn't come up on yours. It came up on mine. Suggested Bigfoot 911.
Oh.
YouTube is advertising your videos for you while we talk to these people.
What?
We love YouTube.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, like and share and subscribe and do all the things. Send your friends and neighbors and family members who get tired of you bothering them about Bigfoot all the time. Send them invites to like, share, subscribe, and do the things. We broke $8 on YouTube this week.
Yes.
We have made $8 off of these.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
No, actually, the thing about the YouTube, when you hear YouTubers say, please like and subscribe, the more you click the like button and the more comments you put in our videos, that makes the algorithm of YouTube share our videos with other people. So subscriptions are great, but liking and commenting really helps us out. Yeah. Oh, and should we do our special for these guys?
Give me just a minute. Okay. I'm looking for that one. I'm going to post it in the live feed. The Bigfoot 911.
It's called Detroit Lake.
It's called Detroit Lake.
Or it says Bigfoot 911 in Detroit Lake.
Yeah, hold on, Nikki. I am finding it so I can post a link.
While she's doing that, I am going to shamelessly plug stuff because, like I said, we do this full time. We both do work. Yeah.
I do love my job. It's just really hard to go back after weekends are over, let me tell you, because I love my weekends even more.
See, we both work for the high school here. She teaches choir full-time, and I have a part-time job teaching drama. I run the after-school drama program at the high school here because that was my first college degree is in drama, but we're hoping to someday ditch those and do this full-time and be able to do that. So, with that said, what I want to say is we don't want to e-beg. We don't want to ask people, just send us money.
But if you want to send us money, I will not turn it away. I'll cash any check. It's true. Yeah. I am a Jewish girl.
She is. Yeah.
And I do love money.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm working on my positivity and my attraction powers.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, her maiden name is Berkowitz. So
No, I am not related to the son of Sam.
no. Okay. So shameless plug. Our cups with the Paddy Wagon logo on them. I can't reach the camera to show that, but anyway, those and our T-shirts with our logos on them are on sale just for you guys. There's a link in the description of this video that'll get you to the place, and so they're 10% off and free shipping for just you guys.
Yep.
And anybody you share this with. So that'll work.
Okay, Nikki, LOL, can you send me,
What?
never mind. I think that was directed to Pappy.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway, so we're selling the mugs and the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please buy our merch. I spend a lot of time designing the graphics on our merch. And honestly, if we do sell a poop emoji stuffy and label it Bigfoot butter, I anticipate that all of you will want to get in on that bandwagon first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bigfoot butter. Oh, Bigfoot Nutella.
Yeah, but that would be a trademark.
Yeah,
violation.
that would. But speaking of Nutella, I don't know where all you guys are at, but we're having a Bigfoot festival here in Baker City, Oregon, June 12th and 13th. I wish I had these dates. Oh, I do. I have them over there.
June 12th and 13th.
I know, and then at Wolf Creek,
June 25th.
June 25th in Wolf Creek, Oregon, which is on the coast.
This is the Great State of Bigfoot Conference.
Yeah, I will be speaking there. And also at the Oregon Bigfoot Festival,
July 25th in Clackamas, Oregon.
Yeah, July. Well, how do you remember all this?
Because I'm neurotic, honey. I'm neurotic.
Okay. July 25th in Clackamas.
That's such a bad thing.
I will be speaking there too. The one here in Baker and the one in Clackamas, both Cliff Berrickman is going to be at both those with us. Shane Corson from the Olympic Project is going to be at all the same three that I'm going to be at. So we'll be together the whole time. That'll be pretty awesome. I really like Shane. He's cool. Okay. He and I spoke at a couple different conferences together already. So, what else was I going to say? Why did I say all that? Oh, just so you can meet us, I guess. And we're also going to be doing some Bigfoot trips this summer as we travel across the country, and we will be announcing when we know better dates and places. If you want to meet up with us and actually go out into the woods for a night or two, no charge, no nothing. I'm not I don't do that. So if we want to just get together and go squatching, let's do it. So,
where's your store link? I'm going to put the link to our merchandise store.
Click that.
Oh, there it is. On the comment feed, so you guys can click on there.
That's it.
Do you have a free shipping code for them by any chance?
It's already on there.
It's already on there? Okay.
Yeah. Close that. Yeah. Well, then you don't have to. That's your link.
Okay. All right. So, all right.
That's it.
Okay. It is already set up for free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
For free ship through the end of the month, right?
Yeah. And that's on through the end of the month.
Okay. So that's a pretty good deal, free shipping.
Yeah, and the 10% off is on the shirts and the cups, and the free shipping's on everything.
Yep. So buy us out, please.
Yeah.
Paradise K loves us. They're our supplier for most of the really fun stuff. We design our own mugs and t-shirts, and I might actually be the very first designer of Bigfoot butter. I got to jump on that, man. Got to jump on that. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say when we were talking about the Bigfoot butter and talking about Nutella. Last year, I was speaking at a conference with Cliff Berrickman and Jeff Meldrum, Cliff gave me something that was really interesting. There was a gentleman, and the name's gone, but I think this was in Kentucky, somewhere back east, that puts out Nutella jars for Bigfoot. And he has got a Nutella jar where Bigfoot had took his fingers and stuck it in the jar, pulled out some Nutella, apparently didn't like it, and left. So, I mean, who doesn't like, what is chocolate?
It's chocolate and hazelnut
Hazelnut.
spread.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I love.
But anyway, maybe it was too sweet for him.
I can eat Nutella with a spoon, man.
But anyway, it had left
Mix that stuff with peanut butter. Oh my gosh.
But anyway, it had left the finger's impression in the Nutella, and he cast it. And so Cliff got a copy of the casting, and he gave me a copy of that. So when we're at these events, I take that with us just for fun as a novelty thing to show people.
Hey, is there anyone from Australia there today? I'm wondering what Bigfoot would do with Vegemite.
I don't know.
I know I can't get it past my uvula.
No, I can't either.
It stops there, and then it just comes right back out.
Yeah.
Projectile vomiting, that stuff. No offense to any Australians in our audience, but you know, hey, if they eat what's in the environment, you know, Vegemite. Mm-hmm. Ian Phil Collins. Bigfoot butter is really hard to find. I know, that's why I got to jump on it. We could be the sole source for genuine Bigfoot butter. You could all hang it from your mirrors in your cars.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, let's try another comment. Here we go.
All right. Okay, so with respect to the sound you recorded, it reminded me a little of a camera lens autofocusing. The situation with the damage to the tree. Could that have been done by a ranger's vehicle, perhaps, or another falling limb or tree that has been cleared away and now under snow nearby? Before you answer that, I just want to remind everyone that our first job at Blue Mountain Bigfoot Research is to find every way to disprove a Bigfoot theory. Mm-hmm. And this guy, Mr. Serious over here, Ricky here, is absolutely brilliant at looking at every possible, every possible theory that's not Bigfoot related. In fact, his motto is kind of, try to eliminate any possibility of Bigfoot. And when you can't do that, when you have eliminated every other theory, then you look at the Bigfoot theory.
There's that saying, once you eliminated everything, even whatever's left, even how implausible,
improbable it is, it's probable.
Probably it's the truth. So, all right. So this was on a video that we did right after the first of the year. I had some teenager had sent us some footprints that they filmed up not far from us, and my partner Pete and I went out and checked it out. And that's, I forgot the name of that video, but anyway, just look through like 4 videos ago or 5 videos ago, something like that. Anyway, it's footprints in the snow. It was, I think we put it out in January. Anyway,
there's a young older child's chapter book called Footprints in the Snow. Be careful.
Yeah. Okay.
You didn't know that? I read it in 5th grade. That's the only reason I know. Okay. Probably not even available anymore.
Yeah. So, anywho, okay. So we went and checked it out, and while we were, we were snowshoeing around the area looking for other evidence. We found where these footprints had went down off the mountain, and the boys had filmed it in a parking lot. And actually, this is a snow park where people park and they go snowshoeing on trails there. It's a fairly used area. And they had filmed these footprints that were 15 inches long, barefoot, walking through the parking lot. And the thing about it was, they fit the Bigfoot footprint profile. In other words, if you take a 15-inch human footprint and a 15-inch Bigfoot footprint, they are different. They don't look the same. There's different morphology to the foot, and these fit the Bigfoot morphology. So we went. He said came down off the mountain, walked through that parking lot, and down off the hill. I'm sure it was done in the middle of the night. When it had been like a week or so after they had filmed this, when Pete and I got there, we ended up the parking lot had been plowed, so those footprints were gone. But we hiked around the area. But what this thing was referring to is, I left that up. So the camera lens focus. I'll have to agree with that. I'll agree with the camera lens focus clicky thing. Because that's what that sound that I recorded on my camera sounded like. That wasn't the sound that we had actually heard. My camera didn't pick it up because it was a long ways away, and that taught me another lesson. And I knew this from the beginning, and I've done it in the past, but I didn't do it this time. Was take an audio recorder, turn it on, keep it away from you. Actually, I have a monopod that I put my audio recorder on, strap it to my backpack, and then lift it up over my head when we're hiking around and stuff. So it's up in the air, and I have a windsock that goes
waving
on it.
Around like it just don't care.
Anyway, so
You asked for that one, buddy.
Yeah.
I cracked myself up too.
But anyway, so we and that's something I normally do. Did I do it? No, I didn't do it this trip.
Okay.
So
we are down to 8.5 minutes.
Wow, that went fast.
That went really fast.
So what
I'm really good at telling him. Yes, I'm watching.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with that. I'm 100% with you on that. It did sound like the camera clicks, but that isn't exactly what we heard. And so, thank you, Nikki, for the super chat.
Oh, yay! What does that mean? What do I do with it?
$1.99. Nothing. You're fine. You just say thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nikki. Woo! You get 2 stars. You get a heart.
There we go. Yeah, we'll do that for super chats from now on. You get a heart from Hannah. Okay. So, anyway, but what was I talking about? Oh, so, but for the tree structure thing, that in that video, we found this tree limbs just stripped from a tree. There is no possible way that was done by a vehicle driving by. I can guarantee you that, because where we were at was up this hill. There was 4 to 5 feet of snow. The stuff was fresh. I meant the bark. It was still weeping from the tree breaks. So there wasn't a vehicle up there. There was no tracks in the snow. There's no way that was done by a vehicle. I can guarantee you that. Was it done by Bigfoot? I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Justin, by the way, Justin Goodearth, I want to shout out. He wants to go squatching with us, hoping he can this summer. I told him we would be in Southern Oregon like the last week of June, and in Unity, mid-July. And he lives in Rainier. Is that Oregon or Washington? Is Rainier in Oregon or Washington? I can't remember. Anyway, but he goes down there to prospect and has had many experiences all over Southern Oregon.
Actually, we're going to a place in Southern Oregon in July.
Not July. Yeah. End of June.
End of June?
End of June, beginning of July. Yes.
Okay.
End of June, beginning of July, because you didn't plug it in.
Oh my gosh.
So, anyway, we might go a little over the hour today because he's looking for his cord, and and that's fine. There's the cord. Now the computer won't die on us.
Okay.
There you go. All right, he's back in business. Okay. Anyway, Washington. It's in Rainier, Washington. So if you are down, because like we said, we have the Great State of Bigfoot Conference in Cave Junction. No, Wolf Creek. Sorry, Wolf Creek. You don't want to go to Cave Junction.
No,
trust me that.
No, because marijuana is legal in Oregon.
Yeah,
and
you got a little
Junction,
something down. You can get it in
Yeah.
Cave Junction.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't like the something. Kind of gives us a headache. But whatever. Anyway, but in Wolf Creek, Oregon, which is not too far from Grants Pass, still in Southern Oregon, there's the Great State of Bigfoot Conference on June 25th, and we are going to spend the next 6-7 days down there. Checking out places around by Diamond Lake, Crater Lake, that area there.
Yeah, Crater Lake, Diamond Lake. Oh, no, not Diamond Lake, Pyramid Lake.
Pyramid Lake,
Yeah.
whatever. Crater Lake area, and we know there are a lot of reports down there.
Yeah. So we're gonna spend 3 or 4 days down there.
Nikki, will you take us with you through the camera? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You want to see our camper life on the road? That's where the real fun starts.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will document all our trips in the woods, everything we do, absolutely. But here's another thing for you guys: is we have another YouTube channel.
We just started
that we're going to document all the travel, not the Bigfooting. That's going to be on this channel, but the travel and RV life is going to be on the other channel.
And that channel is called The Paddy Wagon.
Paddy Wagon.
Go ahead and subscribe to that. There's not a whole lot up on it there now, but it's just in the beginning stages of development. But please subscribe now, and you can get all of it.
Yeah,
we might even do outtakes and blooper reels and things like that.
Yeah. That's the name of our camper we live in is the Paddy Wagon. Get it?
Paddy
Patterson Film
Wagon.
Camper.
That's my idea too.
Yeah.
Actually, that was Tom Bennett's idea.
Yeah.
So
anyway, there was that. There was another thing on that comment. We'll go back here. What's it say?
Which one?
Oh, the limbs are cleared away by the snow. No, I found all the limbs that fell off the tree. They were on the ground by the tree, stacked neatly on top of each other.
Yeah, so we now know. Well, so we've seen that twice.
Yeah.
So we've seen it twice. The limbs were stacked neatly, and in your Bigfoot Better video, in your Bigfoot Better video.
Yes.
The toilet paper from the pit was stacked neatly. So
that was a bonus thing.
So is Bigfoot part of our evolutionary history, or are they actually forward in evolutionary history? Because obviously Bigfoot is a neat freak. I've yet to find a man who's a neat freak.
Go to your room. Anyway, there's a theory, and I tend to agree with this theory. And like I said, it's a theory, it's not actual fact. When I say there's a theory, I'm not saying this is fact, but I'm saying that there's a really good theory that Bigfoot is a little OCD about stuff.
Is Bigfoot a vampire?
No. Could be. No. Don't have the fangs for it.
Oh,
but anyway.
But they got the OCD going.
Yeah, but they got a bit of an OCD thing going. They're very neat and tidy.
So all those stories about women hooking up with Bigfoots, maybe there's some plausibility to that. Anyway. All right. Well, we are down to 2 minutes, and so please.
We're doing fine.
I know. So we want to close off by saying please go visit our actual websites, squatchoregon.com for all of the science, and squatchinwithhannah.com for informative and motivational blog posts and videos, a lot of which has to do with Bigfooting, and a lot of which has to do with just living a life that being married to a Bigfooter. So,
Autistic. Autism's different than OCD.
Yeah, autism is autism is a human. It's a human brain, and it's the brain functions differently. It affects perception of and response to stimuli. And so now I can't say that Bigfoot doesn't have that in their population, but we barely understand it in humans. Our level of the understanding of autism is so limited, and I wouldn't even dare to say that we could even go there with other species when we don't even get it in our own. But Interesting.
Got another comment. Do you think that
That's where
the most missing people go?
Into their neat caves because they're tired of the mess at home? Probably. I think it's voluntary. You get tired enough of people? Oh, yeah.
You know, if my partner Pete read that book, Missing
Justin, I am glad to hear it. I'm glad you're a Squatch.
Yeah.
Come teach.
The Missing 411 books from David Pilates. Pilates. I'm not sure if I've said that right. But there is a lot of evidence that people do go missing in the woods, and it could be possibly Bigfoot. On the contrary to that, there's missing children that have disappeared and showed up on
3 days later.
3 days later on trails that were frequented by humans 3 or 4 miles away from where they were, barefooted with no cuts on their feet.
Yeah.
In fact, there was that last one. It was a little boy, and he said that
that he lived with a bear.
Lived with a bear for 3 days.
Yeah.
And the bear took him to this trail and put him in place.
I don't know.
There is a story in Native American culture, and the tribe. I'm trying to figure out which one it was. I think it was the Ojibwa tribe, but don't quote me on that. But there is some tribal stories of Bigfoot taking children from Native American camps.
Sick children,
and bringing them back well.
Yeah. Speaking of which, oh yes, I love my territory too, along with so many of you, and I do crawl when people come close, and that's why we live in a camper, because we just got tired of the whole neighborhood nonsense thing. Yeah, I think that would be a great topic for another chat, the different Native American stories.
Yeah.
So,
and I've got a lot of them.
So why don't we plan on that for next time?
For next time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a time after or something. That's honestly.
I'll have to go find all my notes that are in a storage unit right now.
Being a psychologist, sociologist person, my favorite part of Bigfoot research is looking at the stories that have come down through the millennia about them, and seeing how how they impacted tribal development, and I just think that part's fascinating. So
yeah, and
the power of story is amazing.
And me being a Native American cultural anthropologist, of course, that's what got me into this, was the fact that all the Native American tribes have legends, and to them, Bigfoot isn't a myth.
No, it's reality.
It's reality.
It's just...
Yeah, and like we've clocked over 175 names from Bigfoot from different tribes.
So don't steal your thunder from next.
Yes.
But it is 9:02 p.m. and we really do have to log off now because we got to go to those jobs in the morning.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo. So we're going to say goodbye right now and keep it very squatchy in your lives, and we will see you next week. If you need to contact us for anything, either one of our websites, probably squatchoregon.com is your best bet, because he checks that a lot. But again, like, subscribe, click buttons, and ding bells and all the things. And comment on the post. Yes, please comment on the post. Leave your comments, and
we'll have another post up Friday for our Friday Footprints one that I do a video every week about some evidence that we found back in the past that we didn't share at the time. Stuff I can pull out of our secret files and share now.
So we will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to us, for being part of this. This is actually really fun for us, and we enjoy all of the all of your comments and all of your interaction. And you really did crack me up tonight, Nikki. We will see you again next week. Good night, and keep it squatchy.
Yep.
Bye. Is it going to